right now. So enjoy Jollibee's story.
All right. So, I was on the IRC minding my own business, and there was a fight going on, and someone was accusing TTI of things that they weren't doing, and I really couldn't, handle it. So I went to this TTI staff chat, copied a log and pasted it into the IRC, and to prove that just to debunk that rumor that the person was going around saying, and a certain developer, I think we all know who it is, the Abusive but her developer. I'm not going to say his name, but we know who it is. He decided to ban me for 2 years because he didn't like what I pasted, and it wasn't anything inappropriate. It was just related to Toontown Infinite. And apparently, if you talk about other servers on the IRC, you get a 2-year ban. So don't do that. And so he banned me for 2 years. And since TTR's population isn't that big, it's pretty difficult to find groups without the IRC group service. So what I did was I went to my friend's house to play TTR. We both played TTR, and I went on the IRC on his computer, and I was stupid. I wasn't thinking. I put the name Jollibee to sign in, and immediately, as soon as not as soon as I joined, but as soon as I'd be like all groups, the same developer banned me forever. Reason ban evasion. Now, I was trying to get a group for me and my friend to do a VP, and I didn't say anything else. All I said was VP groups or whatever, and I got banned for ban evasion, and now my friend can't access the IRC, and they won't unban him just for being associated with me. So pretty much they take that as a serious thing, going onto the IRC to find groups on someone else's computer, and they took the liberty of banning my in-game account for a week for that ban evasion, and that kind of pissed me off. So that's the whole IRC situation. They will ban your account, your in-game account, if you do something wrong in the IRC. So don't do that.
That's really
so
stupid,
that's the IRC.
honestly, but
Yeah. I was really mad that I couldn't play for a week, but it gets worse. So after my 1 week ban, I decided to do a VP. Obviously, I used a VPN, and I'm not telling you the name I used because I still use that registered account to get on the IRC. But I used a noob name to get on the IRC to find a VP group, and all of a sudden, I get banned on the IRC, like just randomly from I think it was Goshi, but it might have been Maverick. I'm not sure. Either one. One of them banned me forever with no proof at all. They just assumed that I was someone ban evading. My IP address was hidden. I had plus X, so they couldn't see my IP address, and there was no logs or anything attached to this account. This was brand new account. They just and I wasn't saying anything in the IRC to make them believe that I was Jollibee. I was just saying all groups, trying to find groups. And out of nowhere, he comes out, bans me forever for ban evasion, just assuming that I'm a ban evader with no proof, no explanation. I messaged him saying, "What's a ban evasion?" and all that, and they told me that I am not welcome here without any proof that I'm someone who's not supposed to be there. They just assumed that, which is really bad for their reputation. I mean, I wasn't breaking any rules. They didn't know who I was. So I joined the IRC, got banned. So, yeah, here's a tip: don't join the IRC with a noob name because they will assume things without any proof. Which is stupid.
yeah, like I don't understand why they banned you. Like apparently because you were associated with TTI and the TTI players, like some of the people you were with, or that like some TTI players, like they were doing something. They did something wrong, I guess. I don't know, but just because you were in the chat,
Oh yeah.
even though
You want me to
even though you
explain
didn't
that?
participate, yeah, go ahead and explain that. Go ahead and explain that.
All right.
Just show
So
this
what
is
happened
bias.
was, yeah, the TTR is one of the most biased teams ever. I mean, Like just for example, Club Penguin servers. I know Club Penguin sucks, but this is just an example. They don't hate each other. They don't ban each other's players. They get along well. Their teams. And unlike TTI and TTR, when I was on the staff chat, in TTI, nobody bashed TTR. No one said anything about TTR. Actually, one developer was defending TTR. In the staff chat. So I don't get why TTR hated TTI so much. But what happened was, since TTI closed, some of the developers decided that they wanted a little staff reunion memorial for TTI. So they brought in all former TTI staff, and we got invited to a group convo. And Maverick so happened to be in that group convo, and he said, as a present or something like that. Let's for a treat or something. Let's go docs too many secrets. And I was in the Skype convo, and so what happened was that he called the ISP and got all of his information. And I so happened to be in that Skype call, and so
And you had nothing to do with it, right?
this yeah, I had nothing to do with it, but I said something in the Skype call like RIP TTI or something, and that log happened to be in the log that was like some faggot, I don't know who it was, but some faggot decided he took the liberty to copy and paste the entire conversation log into like private paste and sent it to the TTR staff. So what they did was every single person that talked in that convo, their accounts got terminated. They're banned from the IRC. They're not able to play TTR. Some of them even IP banned from TTR, which is unfortunate. But even if you were in the chat, like even if you didn't participate in the call, which I wasn't, you would get terminated just for being in that convo. Because yeah.
Yeah, like what if your friend added you to that? Like,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
if your friend added you to that while you were like at school or something? And then they were doing this while you were at school
Yeah.
or you weren't even home, and then you had never been in the chat or met any of these people before, but they're just gonna ban you just because possibly you may have been associated, but they don't have any proof that you did anything wrong.
Yeah.
That's basically what they'll do. They do basically what I'm seeing is that they will do basically just about anything that they damn well please, regardless of whether they have justification for it or not. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say this person's name because I don't think they want to be named, but this innocent person, he had nothing to do with TTI. Maverick was going around and adding every single one of his contacts to the conversation for whatever reason. I don't know. He was, well, I guess he wanted to promote Too Many Secrets as doc, so he added his entire contact list to the convo, and he kept spamming the link to the docs. And one of my great friends said, dude, that's too far, and left the convo. And he still got banned from TTR. It wasn't a termination, but he still got banned from TTR.
Even with that chat log, they still banned him. Even when he said that.
He was like, dude, that's too far, and he still got banned. He was like a 24-hour ban, but
Wow.
I think the reason they gave him for his ban was like Oh, I don't know what that was. So pretty much, the reason for his ban was association with Maverick, or association with the hacker, whatever. So he got his thing on hold for 24 hours, which was, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, extremely abusive TTR staff.
Yeah, they certainly are.
And so I got my 104 laugher to terminated from the IRC. I'm pretty much IP banned from TTR just for being in that Skype call. I didn't participate in the docs or anything. And yeah, that's that. And before I got terminated, I was in a VP, and I just went into the elevator. I wanted to get a VP run done. I didn't check anyone's gags or anything. I just went into the elevator, and some cold callers followed me in. We get to the Skelecog round. There are 4 level 12s right? I'm the only high tune on our side. A bunch of noobs who shouldn't be in the VP. I mean, level 4 or 5 gags, you shouldn't be in the VP.
Right, right.
So this stupid tune feels the need to train in there. So what I do is I pull out a hypno, or I don't pick my gag first. He pulls out a drop. Another tune pulls out a sound or something, and I he's like, let's use sound. I'm going to use drop or something, and I say no, 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 follow me, and he said no, stop greening. And
What?
because I used hypno goggles when they use sound and drop. They were using like bike horns and like freaking
And these are
flower
high.
pots on level
And
12.
are these high?
Hmm?
Is this the second round, the Skelecog round, or is this the first round? I mean,
Yeah, the
either way.
Skelecog round. This is
Okay, so you're gonna die
Skelecog round.
doing that. What he's doing is what this guy's doing is gonna get them killed.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're advocating using lore, which is the only way they could possibly survive.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, no, no, follow me. And he said, no, stop greening. And apparently, Goshi, I mean, the TTR staff will listen to any noob because they like the noobs because the noobs don't, they will blindlessly follow the TTR staff. And that's
Yes.
what the TTR staff wants.
They want sheep.
So, yeah, exactly. So Goshi comes out of nowhere, gives me a warning, says, act like a team player or something. Be more friendly or whatever. Some stupid thing in red on the side of my screen, and I got really mad and I started spamming the chat because all I did was use lore to prevent cog damage, and he has to warn me to be a team player for using the only gag that prevents cog damage.
Yes, they're not the team players.
Apparently, it's not being a
They
team
want to
player.
train drop and get everyone killed. I mean,
Exactly.
that's stupid.
And I was calling the Goshi a noob and whatever, and he gave me another warning. It says, "Final warning, don't be mean" or whatever. And I had it from there. I mean, they didn't take a hint. They used sound again. All three of the 30, 40 laughers, they used their weak sound that wasn't even gonna kill them. The cogs. They expected me to use an opera or a Bessie. They're like, let's use sound.
Just bad game.
They wanted me to use a reward. One of the tunes was like, use SOS drop, and there's no way that I'm gonna use SOS drop when we could lure them to safety and attack them one by one.
And that's your reward. You're entitled
And I
to
say,
use it however
yeah,
you want. I mean,
exactly. So I say no, no, I'm not wasting my SOS, and so I pass because I'm not using. Oh, I could have used a fogged, but the cogs would have all targeted me if I used the highest sound. So I said, nope. I'll let them die, and I'll solo the rest. If they want to use sound, that's their decision. So I pass, and they're like greener, greener, greener. Goshi comes out of his ghost again and bans my tune for an entire week for greening. I get a warning for using lore, which is pathetic. I then start spamming because it's pathetic and biased in so many ways, and I get another warning. Then, because I didn't want to use my SOS card on them, I get called a greener and banned 1 week for greening.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous story I've heard yet. That Goshi and the TTR staff have done. It's even more ridiculous than all the things we've talked about. It's more ridiculous than banning for saying you stink. Just a little bit more ridiculous, but it's still more ridiculous. That's more ridiculous than getting a warning for jumping. I mean, you're playing the game completely correctly, and you're doing everything there that like is smart. You're trying to do the only thing that's going to keep you guys alive, other than waste your rewards, and they're going to ban you for not using your rewards and allowing people to train in a VP. That is beyond. That's mind blowing to me.
Now,
that's just pathetic.
If I was the moderator, I would be warning the tunes using sound because they're the ones who's going to get the team killed. By
Yes, they're the
using lore,
greeners.
you're preventing cog damage. Yeah, they're pretty much the greeners because lore, the gag I use prevents cogs from attacking, which can help the team in many different ways.
Right.
Now, using a weak sound and weak drop in with a row of level 12s, that's going to get your team greened. That's the greener right there, the person who's using the sound, not me, not the person using the lore gag. I was extremely furiated when that happened, and I really don't know where TTR found these moderators.
They act like they never played the game before. Sometimes they just act like they've never played the game before. Because
Yeah,
any person, anyone with any form of intelligence about the game, any form of common sense would know that one, you shouldn't be training in a VP, and two, um, using lore is not greening. If you're using lore, you are not greening. You are attempting to save the team. Sound is a very good gag to use if you want to green, especially low sound. And drop, that's just not going to do anything if it's weak. Like that's retarded. That's honestly
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, and again, they just want sheep. They want followers who blindlessly listen to them without any, proof or evidence. Like Joey could probably say, "Oh, Jollibee hacked the entire staff, stole their credit card information with no proof."
hmm
And all of these people will just listen to them and start hating on me with no proof. Even if I try to prove my innocence, they would call me
Fanboys, man.
liar, yeah, and all that.
Wow.
And so they want the noobs. They like the noobs, the people who blindly follow them, because they want that type of fan base. They don't want the type of fan base that have their own opinion and can play the game correctly.
hmm Yeah. No. Just to clarify, um, I'm not a TTI fan. I never played TTI. Uh, I never I never was associated with that in any way. Um, but yeah, I mean TTR is not doing it right either. I mean I'm not saying I'm not trying to hate on TTI or anything, but I know this is going to TTR people, and they don't like TTI. But I just want to say that I'm not biased in that regard. Um, when it comes to that, and I mean you were on. Were you played it? Were you on the staff at all, or what was the
The
deal there?
TTR staff, no,
I mean the
I was on
TTI staff.
the TTI staff. Yeah, I was a moderator.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't think inherently just the fact that you had some association with TTI, um, whether they don't have any proof that you were involved in anything they may or may not have done with TTI, such as like the ratting or whatever. Like that was you weren't like you. I'm 99.9% sure you weren't involved with that. Uh,
I wasn't on the team when that happened. That
yeah. So
happened
like
like months before
yeah. So
the
if you
ratting
were
and stuff.
if you weren't on the team at that time, it's like anything associated, anything that's you're either TTR fanboy or you're the enemy. It appears like, and if you're the enemy, then you're liable to be banned for a bunch of bullshit reasons. If you're a TTR fanboy, then you will be allowed to get away with murder, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
That's
if
what
you
I'm
know
seeing.
this. Sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know if you know this, but after the whole TTR hacking incident, where some of the staff members of TTI hacked TTR, um, pretty much too many secrets decided to go down the TTI staff list and ban every single one of them for no reason. He literally just banned every person associated with TTI, um, even if they weren't on the current team. Like, let's say there was a former moderator, he would be banned, and it
Wow.
got so bad that he joined the TTI players thing, and some people were talking smack about him, so he banned them on the TTR channel, even though they were talking on their own channel. He joins that, sees that they're talking smack about him, and bans him from the TTR IRC.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Just wow. That's pathetic. This server war shit, man.
yeah,
Wow. Like wow. Just come on, man. It's not that damn serious, man. I mean, It was not
But
that
it's talking
serious.
smack about him on their own channel, like TTI players. It's not they're not doing anything on TTR, but he got mad, so he decided to take his anger out on them and ban them for 2 years on the IRC, which is pretty pathetic.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have unprofessional high schoolers and college kids running games. This is the result you get.
Good thing he's not on the IRC moderation team anymore. They kicked him off because he got so many complaints that they just kicked him off the IRC moderation.
This is too many secrets.
Yeah, he's no longer on the moderation team.
Well, good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Goshi, you're next. Hopefully,
Hope-
we're hoping. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not, just to clarify again, we've said this in the video before, we're not saying all TTR mods are bad. Oops, I don't know what happened there. You still there? Okay,
Yeah.
you're still there. Okay, never mind. That's something else. Another call coming in. But anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, we're not saying all TTR mods are bad. In fact, I've had many good experiences, like I said in the video before. I've had many good experiences with TTR mods, TTR devs, and all that. I've had good experiences, and yeah, but it's just a select few that are very, very messed up and unprofessional, and do not need to be in the position they're in my opinion.
Yeah, and just a disclaimer, because I know a lot of TTR fanboys from the Reddit are going to get butthurt at me. I'm no way bashing TTR. I love what they're doing. They're bringing back Toontown. Some of their staff, I'm friends with.
Exactly.
So I don't hate TTR. I just don't like some of their staff members, and I'm not biased. I mean, everyone's biased in their own way, but I'm not bashing TTR because I'm TTI staff member. Please don't think that. I stated facts to prove my point, which is different from bashing them.
Exactly.
And so please don't think I'm bashing them and downvote me 200 times again.
Well, that's what they'll do. It's not whether you bash or whether you do anything wrong. I've noticed that you get downvoted before. I've noticed you get downvoted if you say anything that is against the. Oh my gosh, people need to stop. If you say anything against the popular opinion of the sheeple opinion of TTR, like anything to do with anything thinking outside the box or any different opinions are unwelcome, and they will get deleted or downvoted to oblivion.
But if you bash on TTI or another server, that's fine. You'll get upvoted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you bash TTI on the Reddit, you will get upvoted. Guarantee it. If you
I've never bashed any of them, so I mean, I don't see why it's needed, to be honest. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention some. Oh yeah. Joey said that Frizzy Dog and Pop is not welcome in TTR because he tells the noobs that they don't know what they're doing and they're not playing the game correctly. He's no longer welcome in TTR.
Well, it's the truth.
It's pretty sad. He's a great player. He's one of the smartest people I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's one of the few that actually have common sense and know what they're doing. And like he's what I've seen for sure, he's the most knowledgeable, the most, like, he lays it out perfectly, like what the deal is, and how you should play the game, and how you should, and just how people react. He just lays it out, calls them out for it. I mean, he just tells it like it is. I mean, Joey, if you're banning Frizzy just for telling the truth and telling it like it is, then that's just pathetic. That's just sad. That's just very sad.
Yeah. So, while we're talking about TTR staff, TTR staff will, whenever you talk about the subject on the Reddit or anything, they'll mention that the team was full of hackers and you shouldn't trust them and stuff. Well, that was before they closed, but I just wanted to bring up that uh, let's start with Too Many Secrets. Too Many Secrets is Maverick Musher, which he
I'm sorry, you
pretty
kind of
much
lagged there. What did you
invented.
say there? Sorry about that. You kind of lagged a little bit.
Sorry,
Maverick what?
gi- give me one moment, please.
Okay, no problem. I can pause it if you need. Do you need me to pause it?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
So let's start with Maverick Mosher. Too Many Secrets. He invented the original Toontown injector. I believe. Wait, let me get. Okay, so all my facts messed up. CF's Works, one of the lead developers of TTR, is his former aliases are Freckle Slam and Magic Cat, which are notorious Toontown Online hackers. If you didn't know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Maverick invented the original injector. Disney patched it, and CS Works made a bunch of workarounds to Disney's patches. And eventually, Disney got tired and gave up on fixing hacks because of that. Freckle Slam did a bunch of hacks. He did a bunch of district resets. He caused a lot of trouble in TTO. But everyone forgot that when he joined the TTR team. Everyone decided to just forget his past as a hacker. But when Cody, another hacker, makes a Toontown server, everyone starts hating on him and bringing up that he's a hacker and all that.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, I knew from the start as well that obviously that they had hackers on their team as well. But I mean, I don't know who's more trustworthy. I mean, I know TTR didn't rat anyone or do some of the things that TTI did, which like was really bad. Like, I mean, I'm not. That's the biggest reason why I chose TTR. Aside from the fact that I like the fact that it didn't change too much from the original game. I liked a lot of things from TTI, but I mean, I was more into what it being closer to what the actual game was when it closed. But anyway, um, but yeah, like that's just very hypocritical to start calling TTI like saying they're not trustworthy and they're full of hackers when that's exactly what is on the TTR staff as well. Um,
The
they're
sorry, go
trustworthy,
ahead.
maybe they aren't, but yeah,
The thing is, I know this is supposed to be a rant about abusive staff, but just thought I should add, like Frizzy said, the TTR's team, their public reputation is trustworthy because they're smart. They know how to hide things. They could be hiding secrets from us. They probably are. I'm
yeah,
not saying they did anything bad. I'm not saying they rat anyone, but just they're not completely innocent. I'm sure they've done things that they're not proud of.
yeah,
And
I'm
the
sure.
thing about Joey is he's a big hypocrite. On Reddit, he says that the TTI team is unprofessional because they have hackers on their team. Joey was a hacker in Tune Online. I remember seeing Sir Max swimming in the playground, his 76 laugher. He did a bunch of hacks in TTR. I remember his tune. He even posted hacking videos, and now they're deleted, obviously, to protect his reputation, TTR's
Right, right.
reputation. But he did that stuff before, so he's a big hypocrite. But I guess everyone forgot that, right?
Hmm. Exactly, because they're fanboys and they will blindly follow the lead of the TTR leader Joey, since he brought their game back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
All hail Joey.
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with Joey personally. I never really actually spoke to him, individually. I mean, I even tried to get him, or when there was a possibility that he was going to be raided. I had heard of this, and I gave a moderator, the random dog, all the information I had uh, on this on this possible raid. Which I don't think it never came true. It didn't happen. But I mean, I was trying to help him out. So I mean, I don't have any problem with him. You know what? If you hacked in the past, it's whatever. I don't care. That makes you a better coder. If that does that, that's fine. I mean, but I don't really care. But I mean, it's just no. There's no reason to be hypocritical and try to bash TTI and go into a anti-TTI campaign and like just over things that you did as well. I mean, that's just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand you're trying to promote your game and all, but come on, that's kind of unethical and dumb. Like that's just stupid.
Yeah, I get that they now I'm cool with these hackers making private servers because they're the ones experienced with coding, not the script kiddies, but like
Yeah.
people like Pascal, Cody, Chan. They were hackers. Joey, Maverick, and CS Works, they were hackers, but they know how to code, so that's good for the server. They know how to code. Now the thing is, they're being hypocritical when they say that the other team's unprofessional because they have hackers when they were hackers. Now, if you go and ask
Oh my, they
them,
actually
they will
said that.
deny the fact. Yeah, I know.
They are
On
the
the
most
Reddit.
they at times are the most unprofessional staff I've ever seen. TTR. I'm like of anything, of like any game, any service, anything. I've never seen less professionalism than what I've seen out of a lot of the TTR staff. But okay, go on. Sorry. I just
Yeah.
found that to be just mind-boggling that they would
Yeah,
actually say that.
they're really unprofessional, especially when it comes to the server going down. Instead of explaining why the server's going down, they'll try to cover it up and say that it was like a power outage. Like in case you didn't know, Maverick and Lefty DDoSed them their game servers, and they Joey claimed that it was a power outage. Instead of telling the truth and letting the community know what really happened, try to cover it up with a
That
power
would be much
outage
more
excuse.
appreciated if they would actually tell the truth. But
Yeah, they could have just said it was a DDoS attack, but they don't want to ruin their reputation. And people actually believe that it was a power outage, which kind of surprised me because Maverick and Pascal were showing pictures of them. Now, I'm not supporting their actions for it, but I'm just saying it's unprofessional. Like, let's say like a professional company like Apple. Let's say someone somehow hacked their iMessage servers. They would probably be honest and say our iMessage servers are down right now due to this exploit. We're working on fixing the exploit,
exactly,
and
yeah, that's the normal thing. There's no like why lie about it? Like, come on. Why
yeah.
lie about it? I mean, I understand you're trying to make everyone think, oh, the servers are secure and safe and all that, but I mean, come on. Anyone that knows anything about anything, like, okay, that's maybe not the best way to put it, but intelligent people can tell what's going on. You know what I mean? Intelligent people
Hmm.
will know that it wasn't a power outage because they see the pictures. They don't have this illusion of everything being like unicorns and candy canes and great all the time. It's like, they actually see. They don't need to be disillusioned, so they actually see what the real thing is going on. They actually can see this from the start. They're not just fanboys that think everything's perfect. I don't, it's just
Hmm. Now going back to the Apple thing, they're a big successful company, and they have millions and millions of customers.
exactly. Yeah.
That'll that will pretty much listen to anything they say. They won't question it. Now the thing is, let's go to like jailbreaking. Now jailbreaking is something they don't approve of. It's pretty much like hacking your iPhone.
Yeah.
So when let's just say these hackers, these jailbreak hackers, they find an exploit and they release it. Instead of Apple saying like well, it was like a flaw in our system, it was a glitch or something. They gave credit to these jailbreak hackers. If you go to their website, they give credit and they actually say that it was a exploit. They tell the truth. They don't try to hide anything, and that's a professional company right there. But TTR, they get hacked. They say it's a power outage, which is not true.
Yeah. I mean, why they wouldn't just tell the truth? Because they know no matter what, they're going to be supported by the community. The community will support the TTR fanboys will support them regardless of what the reason was. Um, Hell, they could even most likely hack, like, or like DDoS TTI or something. I mean, they didn't. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying they could have done that, and most of their players would not have, their fanboys would not have cared. And I mean, if Apple if Apple, who was even in a better position to get away with like lying and saying things like that, um, like why if they're in that position and they tell the truth, why not TTR? I mean, not saying they're perfect. Never expected anyone to be perfect, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Um. Now, the thing about the unprofessionalism isn't bashing your competitor unprofessional.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you can promote your product. You can have a little competitive banter. I mean, if your competitor actually does something against you, then you can defend yourself and say, "Hey, well, we didn't do this," but you don't go on a bashing spree. And I mean, you don't just that's just wrong, man. You don't just bash your competitor completely, and you don't just you don't try to make them look worse than they do, because if they're bashing you and if they bash you and they do things like DDoS you or something like that, like that makes them look bad already. So you don't need to go to their level. You know, you don't need to constantly do that, and then you don't need to just ban everyone that ever played the game or everyone that was ever on the moderation team, regardless of whether they were involved or not. Because like we said here, it was only a few bad apples in the bunch. I mean, it's just kind of messed up to ban people without any proof that they did anything wrong. I mean, that's just abusive. That's just abusive moderating. That's what this video is about. That's abusive moderating.
Yeah, and I guess this kind of ties up with this topic. So a lot of my friends, when you get to about 125, there's nothing really left to max except like fishing, and fishing is a joke. It's repetitive. It's boring. It's not fun. So there's this program. I'm not going to say the name of it. You probably already know what it is.
And I'm sure some TCR
That
staff used it, but
yeah, it pretty much lets you fish faster.
auto
and,
fisher.
and what TTR? It's not an auto fisher. It gives you the fish automatically as soon as you hit cast. And then it doesn't. Yeah, if it was an auto fisher, that'd be OP. But they terminated every single person that used it. No proof. If they assume that you're using it, they'll terminate you. Even if it's your first time, like let's say you're a good person, you don't break any rules, you have a good standing account, and you just decide to try this out one time to see if this works, and they catch you, you'll get terminated, no appeal. But these same people who are banning them are the people who made the injector. They're the people who made the reset codes. They're the people who are I mean, I'm not saying that Disney closed because of hackers, but I'm almost sure that the hacking thing had to do with it a little bit.
It had a contribution. It definitely had a contribution.
Exactly.
No matter what they want to say regarding the closing of the game, hacking had a contribution, directly or indirectly. It had a contribution. That's another video, but it had a contribution.
Yeah, and TTR fanboys will try to say, oh, Disney was lazy. They didn't care about the game, which is why they didn't patch the injector. They patched the injector several times. It was the TTR hackers, the TTR staff hackers, that were making workarounds to their patches, and eventually Disney got tired of that, and they said, screw it, we're not going to fix this anymore. If they're just going to keep making workarounds, why bother trying to fix it? So, I mean...
Exactly. And they had a small staff to begin with, so, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it would be, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Let's just say Disney's Toontown Online would probably still be open if it wasn't for the injector, because they lost a lot of players from it. People were scared that they would get hacked, district resets, and these hacks were made by the same people.
Off too. That not only would they be. You have some people that would be scared about it. Like, you would have some people that just get pissed off. Like, I'm tired of... Like, I know I got pissed off before. Just getting constantly reset and everything. It was annoying. I mean, it was.
Yeah. And the sad thing is they're denying. Like, if you go up to CFSworks or Too Many Seeds, be like, are you Maverick? Are you Freckle Slam? They will deny it, or they'll ignore you. Or sometimes they'll even ban you if you accuse them of something that they did you, they deny it. But let's say you go up to Cody and you ask him, did you hack TTR? He'll tell the truth. He'll be like, yeah, I hacked TTR. I regret it, but I did. But the TTR staff will lie about it. Just to keep their reputation at a high. They're they'll just lie about their old reputation and stuff like that. Just so the fanboys will keep playing TTR.
And they don't even need to anymore. I mean, because they don't have really any competition. Like nothing really to speak of
Exactly.
as a legit challenger. So why lie? Like what
They
what
yeah they
benefit?
don't I don't they don't have any competitor. I mean, there's been some speculation that Toontown Online is coming back, but I doubt that they
That
even.
won't happen anytime soon. That won't happen anytime soon.
Well, what I think is that if they try if they because they have pretty much all of the community right now. Most of the community just blindlessly follows them.
Yeah, I
They
mean
they
they got a couple other random private servers, but they're very small. Like
Toontown Fellowship.
it's probably like 10% or less of the community concentrated into all of those combined. No, I'd say at least 90%. I mean, I'm not basing this off anything other than what I've seen. I'm not basing this on any actual statistics. So don't quote me. Don't tell me that that's not true or anything. This is just what I've seen. I'd say 90% of the community is based within TTR. Would you agree
Now
with
they're
that or thereabout?
yeah, they're pretty much the only server. There's Toontown Fellowship. It averages about 100 people at a time. Now, TTR has nothing to worry about. That's 100 people. Now, I know there's about 2,000 registered accounts with them, but that's nothing compared to what TTR has. I mean, even when TTI was around, they had nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
Even when TTI came out first with the open beta, they just released it. TTR still had far way more players. They, I don't get these people, these fanboys who would rather wait 8 hours in a play line to play for 2 hours when they can just play open beta TTI without waiting or anything like that. So TTR had nothing to worry about, yet they still bashed TTI. They still were unprofessional about that just to gain the monopoly of the community, and they're still doing that. I'm sure that one of the staff members is trying to say stuff about TTF so people don't play Toontown Fellowship.
Yeah, I would be shocked if that wasn't occurring based on the history. But I mean, like, yeah, like this video isn't like just to do a. It's not to bash. We're not bashing like TTI bashes TTR, TTR bashes TTI. We're not engaging in any of that. We're just trying to put some examples out there of abusive moderation. And Jollibee is using his insight because he was a staff member of TTI for a while. He's just using his insight on the hypocrisy and some of the things that TTR does that are not right. This is not a video that this is being made for a positive change. We're trying to make a positive change, if at all possible. But it takes two. It takes you guys, TTR staff, and other people watching this. It takes you guys supporting this change and trying to promote this change in order to get anything done. Because if it's just myself, Rocky, and Jollibee that care, no one else cares, and we're wasting our time, man.
Yeah, if the TTR staff is watching this, or anyone associated with TTR staff, then they could get that to them. That would be great. If you're watching this, if you want to have the monopoly over the community, why are you terminating accounts like crazy without even a warning or maybe like a temp hold? I mean, at least a week temp hold for this. But they just go on ahead and terminate their 125 laughers that they worked a year on. They're just going to terminate them for one offense. I don't think that's a good way to keep your fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I know several of my friends have been terminated just for that one incident.
Like for the
and they're not
phishing
allowed
thing?
to. Yeah, that's not harmless. I mean, I would get that you reset their phishing
Yeah,
thing.
I would agree with that too. Like, that's not that's not good. You shouldn't do that. That's cheating. You're getting an unfair advantage. Like, but termination over that's a little harsh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Disney would even terminate you for if they. So, well, I mean, I used it in TTO because there's no way I'm gonna sit there all day fishing to get a laugh boost. I used a fishing auto, and what they did was they put my thing on hold. So I called them, and they gave me a warning. They're like, "Don't use this again, and you'll be fine." And I said, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again." And we were all good. I got my account back. It was all good. I stopped using the hack, and everything was good. But TTR, not even a warning, not a temp ban, just goes to termination.
Hmm.
And I just don't think that if they want to keep their couple thousand players, it's not a good way to do that.
Yeah, it's that too. Uh, at some point, if you start banning the fanboys too, if you end up banning them because you can't tell if they're fanboys or not, which I mean you probably could in most instances, but if they do something outside of like what you guys want them to do, if you start banning once you start banning so many people, you become unpopular. Once you do so many unpopular things, you're gonna become you're not gonna people aren't gonna like you, okay? And if people don't like you, they're not gonna play your game. Now I don't know how much it appears you guys care a lot about your monopoly that you have on the game right now, for lack of a better term. You have basically most of the community is centered in TTR. If you guys care about that being the case, then you got to make some changes. Now I've made videos before, as has Rocky. I don't know if you've ever made a video yet, Jollibee, but we've made these videos before trying to help, and this is also a video we're trying to use to help. Um, but sometimes you got to tell the cold hard truth. You know, you can't just
Mm-hmm.
tiptoe around the issues. You got to tell the whole cold hard truth, and action needs to be taken.
Yeah, and going back to the whole them banning their fanboys now, I'm not gonna name him because he's probably because he's a fanboy. He probably got his account back, but I'm gonna use this as an example anyways. He's about I think 125 laugh. He played TTR every day. He worked his ass off on this game. He defended TTR when people bashed it. He stood up for TTR. He's a fanboy of TTR. He's friends with Joey and all that. And he got into the fishing thing
Hmm.
because it's I mean I don't blame him. I use it too. He used it once to gain like one laugh boost, and he got terminated with no appeal. Well, I mean, I guess he might get an appeal because he's a fanboy, but he defended TTR. He would help them. He told people not to make fun of TTR. He did all these things to help them and support them, and they're just gonna bite him in the ass and terminate his account for one offense.
Mm. That's gonna turn people against you if they're that vehemently in their defense of you. If they're that vehement in their defense of you, and you're just gonna terminate them for one small offense, that's just wrong. Like that's just wrong. Like if you're that's just wrong.
Yeah.
Like of all people, if you have supporters, if you have like hardcore supporters that love your game and play your game all the time and defend your game and are doing everything, making you look good constantly, why would you terminate them? I mean, that's unless they're doing horrible things in the game that like are and breaking rules, like many like rule over and over. Like if they continue to break rules, unless they're doing things like that, I mean banning them. That's just not only is that wrong. That's just not intelligent. That's just very stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now this, I don't think this is. I mean, I still see it, but this isn't much of a problem anymore now that TTR is out. But they will ban you for the fishing thing for cheating when all they have to do really is reset your fish, and that'll pretty much take care of it. I mean, all you have to do is reset the fish,
Hmm.
or make it so that if this code is injected into the game automatically put their thing on hold or give them a warning or something.
Right.
There are people who use Keep Alive to have themselves in the COG HQ so they don't have to walk back. But that's still cheating because instead of having to manually walk back like you're supposed to, they can just teleport, clogging up the server, which is not helping the whole
Yeah.
server overall. They're clogging up the server. They are cheating. It's not cheating, but I mean, I just think that people who use Keep Alive should get, a punishment too, because they're using third-party software.
Yeah, they allow,
For the
but
game.
that's the thing is they selectively allow third-party software like multi-tune control. Like I have two
Really?
tunes. Yeah, I use multi-tune control, which is completely okay with them. They're fine with that. They're fine with texture packs. I mean, that's not really third-party software.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that's they're fine with.
TTO didn't. Disney didn't support those face file content packs, which I didn't get at all.
Yeah, I don't get that, but TTR. What I'm saying is TTR is okay with like some modifications, some third-party software, but not others. And I mean, I understand a little bit. Like, okay, multi-tune doesn't really hurt anyone too much. I mean, like it doesn't. I mean, it's helpful, yeah, but it's not like you're still playing the game like as it was intended for the most part. You just are able to move both at once. I mean, it's just helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. I'm cool with that. And sorry, my friend whispered to me. He called. See, they made fishing easier. He's caught 3 ultra rares in the past 24 hours now.
Mm-hmm.
6. So they did make fishing easier. At the request of many people. But anyway, as I was saying, they allow some third-party software, they allow some alterations, but they don't allow others. Which, I mean, that's kind of odd, a little bit, but don't. The point still stands. You don't terminate someone for a first offense on a phishing pack.
Yeah,
Like,
they're being more abusive than Disney.
mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, Disney doesn't terminate first time for phishing. They give you a warning or something, or phone hold. I mean, I get the TTR doesn't want to have their players cheating like that, but I mean, like I said, just there are simple solutions that you could do. You could reset their fish. You could give them a warning. You could just there all these simple things to do. I mean, why don't you just go ahead and patch the thing? You don't have to terminate these 125 laps that maxed all 3 bosses, and these people work their ass off every
They're
day.
helping you test the game like hardcore
Exactly.
all the time. Like it's still in beta,
and these
we're playing
people
it
are
to
like
test the game.
yeah. And these people are the people who are not sleeping at night just to max the boss, and then they do one thing, and their tune is gone forever.
Yeah, like how would if you think about like how would a TTI staff member that formerly hacked, how would they feel if that happened to them over one offense when they were working hard on the tune? I mean, they would. I'm sure they wouldn't like that. You know, it's just like you gotta. I mean, obviously they're above the law. That's for certain. They've shown that in the past. They're above the law, and I mean, I guess maybe they should be because they created the game. But I'm just saying, come on, think about your players a little bit there. Let's be a little. Let's not terminate the people that you don't need to be terminated.
Yeah, and if you guys need a solution to this terminating thing, I mean, give all the people you terminated a chance to redeem themselves. Give them like an appeal, like a warning or something, because they worked hard on their tunes. But for future hacking, this is how the TTI staff handled it. If we caught someone hacking, we would go into Ghost, give them a warning saying stop using that. It's against our rules, and if they continue to use it, we would ban them for 1 to 3 days, depending on what hack it is. We wouldn't just go ahead and terminate their account on the spot. Multiple offenses would just lead to like 10-day bans. Nothing serious. But like after like 10 offenses, they would get a termination. But that's
10?
after 10 offenses,
Wow.
not 1 on the spot.
I don't know if 10. I don't know if you need 10, but I mean, give them at least 2 or 3 or 4, maybe. Give them a couple.
Well, I'm not saying it was
1.
10, but
holy crap! At least 1 at the very least 1. Give them
TGI was very nice on that because when I was a moderator and I saw someone hacking, I would just warn them, and then I would kick them. I wouldn't terminate their account on the spot for 1 offense.
Well, that seems to be more. I think that's because maybe you guys weren't as power hungry as some of the mods on here. I mean, I don't know. I never played TTI, but if that's the case, if you're allowing people multiple chances, then you're clearly just trying to do your job, and you're clearly like not trying to be the bad guy and like trying to feel powerful and be just like just feel you're trying to stroke your ego basically is what I'm saying. You're actually just trying to do your job, and you're trying to be nice and lenient towards your player base and allow them to like you a little more. Like because the TTR mods when they're kicking people and terminating people and banning people, that's not a way to get people to like you. Okay, and you need to be liked, or people will not play the game. That's everyone knows that. If they don't like if they don't like if the entire community does not like the people that run this game, what reason do they have to stay on the game?
Mm-hmm.
Although I mean I understand like if another server is able to replicate the game, the server, I mean the actual game, the gameplay, fairly close, and it comes down to which staff we like better. I don't see what reason they would pick TTR if they're just going to like abuse their power. Like I mean, at that point, the tiebreaker would be moderation, in my opinion. I don't see what else would be the tiebreaker unless I'm missing something. I just think that would be that would yeah. All right. Well, I don't know if Jollibee has anything else to say. I'm gonna pause it. He had to go AFK for a second, so 1 second. Go. All right, we're back.
Now, okay. Hi. What I want to bring up is about how CS works, Joey, Maverick. I'm sure there are other hackers on the team, but I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying it's just a fact. They were hackers before. Everyone forgave them. They gave the hackers a second chance to redeem themselves, and they did redeem themselves by making TTR. I mean, I'm not agreeing with some of them, but they redeemed themselves, and the community forgave them, and that's all well and good. But I don't know if you're aware of this, but on the Reddit, I started off bad on the Reddit. I bashed TTR. I was biased towards TTI, and that got me downvoted a lot. I had over negative 100 comment karma, and what happened was I decided I needed to change. I needed to change my whole reputation. I need to start, acting like I need to contribute to the Reddit, to start commenting again and all that. So I apologized, and I sincerely apologize to anyone I may have offended before. I left a big apology letter on someone's post, and saying that I would change and that I wanted to start over. And what happened was some people found room in their hearts to forgive me, and they upvoted that. And what happened was I went from negative 100 comment karma to now I have 230 comment karma. So I went up 330. So people went from despising me on the Reddit to agreeing with what I'm saying, and that's just an example of the forgiveness and change that happened in the Reddit. But what I used that as an example in my appeal letter to TTR. I wrote about a 9-paragraph essay to TTR explaining, like I took responsibility for my actions. I'll send you a picture of the email I sent, and
we'll
it took me about 2 hours to write it. It was well planned out and all that. And I sent it, and then 5 minutes later, after the email went through, I get a email back from so-called TTR support with 2 letters. And those letters are NO. No explanation, not even, a thank you for writing this letter, not even a have a great day. It just says no. Which kind of made me mad because I took responsibility for my actions. Yeah, I mean, I did some bad things, and we all know we all make mistakes. And the thing is, the community forgave me. The community forgave me, even though I was bashing them. I was saying bad things. They forgave me. Now I was expecting, yeah, and I was expecting the staff to forgive me because of this. Because if the community accepts me, they should accept me back. But nope, I get a email back saying no. And I said, so even in 5 years after I learned my lesson and 5 years has passed, I still can't get an appeal. And they emailed me back, nope. So that
Wow.
kind of pissed me off.
I would say.
Um, Yeah, and for going back to the whole Disney thing, well, I got terminated before for hacking. I even after several warnings, I still hacked because I'm not doing nine bad 9 DA off his D's in an invasion district to get one promotion. I hacked, but what happened was I realized after I got terminated, after about a couple months, I realized that I shouldn't have been hacking, and I regretted my decision. And but I really worked hard on that tune. So what I did was I called them and we discussed this thing for like 30 minutes, and they eventually said, "You know what? You seem like you've learned your lesson. You seem like you changed. I believe in you." And they unterminated my account on the phone. Thank you, Shauna, for that. So that Disney forgives their players for hacking after multiple offenses, but even after like a couple offenses, uh, then you get terminated and you write a long appeal letter and get accepted by the community. TTR staff will still not even consider
So
unbanning.
everyone's able to forgive and forget, or not, I guess not forget, at least forgive and give second chances and be reasonable. But the TTR staff, at least some of them, is what I'm getting here.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I totally understand why I'm terminated. I mean, well, I don't get the termination part. I get like a 1 week or 1 month ban because I did break some IRC rules. But the thing is, that's the IRC. Your in-game account shouldn't be linked to your IRC. If you break an IRC rule, that shouldn't affect your in-game account.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I get like you're hacking. Like I would get if like you're DDoSing the IRC or like you're spamming some inappropriate pornography, and yeah, I would get that. But I was like
Because you're a
defending
menace then.
TTI.
You're
I
not a
defended.
menace now. You know.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
defending TTI, but I was kind of bashing TTR a little bit, and they decided to just terminate me for that. And then I changed. I apologized. The community accepted me. The entire Reddit community accepted me. Oh, well, not entire, but most of the people accepted me and gave me a second chance. But the TTR staff doesn't. They don't give second chances. You mess up once, you're done for.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll send you this. Kind
Okay.
of made me mad
Yeah,
because
we'll add that in. Wow.
Okay.
That's a lot of stuff. You've been talking here for an hour. You've got a lot more information than we do, or because we combined, we're about an hour. So you had a lot. You had a lot there that you had, which was very good, and I think it added a lot to the video. Did you have any more you want to talk about, or is that about it?
Well, I just wanted to since we were talked about my termination from Too Many Secrets, the abusive developer, I thought I would just mention. I would read out the email I got. I had to go on the IRC on a proxy to even ask for an email about it. They never sent me an email after a day of my termination. 2 days after my termination, I never got an email. I had to physically request that I got an email about this, which was pathetic. They didn't even bother to send an email. They didn't have the decency to send me an email regarding why I got terminated. I had to go and request it. So after a couple hours, I get this email. We are running the chat logs and happen to notice a major violation of Toontown written rules on your account for ban evasion and distribution of personally identifiable information. Now, notice how they said running chat logs. This is because I was in the Skype convo with Maverick and they were doing bad things. So, like I said, if you're associated with someone bad, you're gonna get terminated. So that for ban evasion and distribution of personally identifiable information. Now, at first, I thought they were referring to the in-game chat logs because I thought that's what they go by.
That's what they should go by.
And and that what I said in the thing. I'm not saying this what I said was right, but it shouldn't have been, a bannable offense. I said, and the staff knows this. I talked about this. With them, and they know they clearly know this. I said, "Hey guys, I was in a mint with 3 other tunes, and this was while they were in the Skype call doxing him." I said, "Hey guys, guess what?" And they said, "What?" And I said, "Justice has been served. Too many secrets has been doxed." And they said, "LOL." And I said, "Yeah, that fool clearly deserves it." And that's that's I guess that is distribution of personally identifiable information.
That's not distributing
Same,
anything. That's
yeah,
just cheering on the fact that it occurred.
and I was even like I was an admin of the Skype convo, one of the Skype convos, and they brought in a bunch of contacts and they were spamming the docs link. I even had the decency to I tried to remove all those links. I tried to, you know. I mean, obviously, two-faced because first I say he's doxxed, but then I try to help him out. But I tried to delete all the links. I never posted on my channel. I never promoted the link. All I said was he did get doxxed. I stated a fact. He did get doxxed. And apparently, that's distribution of personally identifiable information. Um, I think that they just found the stupidest reasons to ban me because they hate me, because I speak my own opinion. I don't agree with them, and they just needed to find some stupid reason to use for my termination.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it seems like they have a bit of a like they just really want to get you.
Yeah, and
If they
and
really
then I
want to
say,
get you, they'll get you. Like they'll find a way to
yeah,
get you.
yeah, and he says there's no possibility for appeal, even though I didn't really do anything bad. I mean,
you were just happy it occurred. You were glad it occurred. You didn't
yeah,
actually do it. Like I can be happy that am I is it not okay to have like not like someone and then when you see something like bad happen to them that's kind of like okay, so like if you are happy that something bad happens to someone because that person has done things that you do not approve of before, so you're like, oh, that's kind of payback. You're not allowed to be happy about that. I mean, it's one thing if you participate in this action, but just being glad that it occurred. Why is this terminatable? Why
no,
can you get terminated for this?
I just realized something that now to this day still pisses me off. Too Many Secrets, the one that issued my termination, he banned me for distribution of personally identifiable information. He leaked Skype logs, which contained personal information of several TTI staff members, their full names, some people's phone numbers that were in the Skype logs. He didn't even care to edit. He didn't even care to delete that. He just posted all the entire Skype log to the public. So he distributed personally identifiable information, but that's fine because he's a developer.
Yeah, apparently it is, according to that.
I mean, I don't get it. I didn't distribute anything, but I get terminated. He actually does give out. I mean, I don't think it was intentional, but he did distribute TTI staff members' information in the form of Skype logs. But I guess that's okay.
That's just hypocrisy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So much hypocrisy.
So to summarize, the TTR staff is abusive. They're all hypocrite. Well, not all of them, but most of them are hypocrites. And they don't even care about their fans. They don't really care about their fans because, like I said, 125 laughers that dedicate their life to Toontown Written terminated on one offense. That's how much they care about their community and their fan base. You messed up one time, terminated.
Yep. And and some of the times, as we've indicated, these mess ups were not even like legitimate reasons. Like they were not even legitimate things. But yeah, whatever. This video is going on for quite some time, or at least this portion of the video is. Is that about it? Do you wanna end it?
Yep, that's about it.
Anything else? All right.
Well, I guess I can plug my channel if that's okay.
No, go ahead.
All right. Well, my channel's Jollibee Ridden. You probably already heard of me, but I make Toontown Ridden videos and all that Toontown related stuff. So if you like Toontown related videos, rants, solos, all that, commentaries, gameplays, go check out my channel. Hopefully, he'll put the link in the description. That'd be great. And yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble on and on and on.
All right. Yeah, we really appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
we're
kind of
back.
foreshadowed for you, but you'll see it.
Yeah. And yeah, you just saw Jollibee's story there. Quite insane. I know, like, banned for not letting a tune train. Like, why would Goshi ban him for trying to teach a tune strategy? Like, the bottom line is, what's gonna happen eventually? The tunes are going to leave the game, and what I mean by that is, if no tunes, no strategy, the high players are going to leave. When the higher players leave, there's nobody to carry the low players who never progress their tunes, and because they can't do VP, they will leave, and then the whole community will just crumble down, just like in Toontown Online. People will say, "Oh, it just stopped updating. That's why they didn't leave." No, all of this, the
It's a
modding and
two-way street.
everything
You
in
can't.
Goshi.
It's a two-way street. You can't. They stopped updating because people stopped playing. They stopped, and then more people stopped playing because they stopped updating. It's like you can't separate the two. Chicken or the egg. It's a little bit of both, honestly. But the Jollibee story is ridiculous. I mean, he lured to stop people from training drop and killing everyone in the VP. His luring could have saved everyone. I don't know if it did or not. I don't remember, but I don't know what actually happened there completely. But we heard the story, so just take from it what happened there. But anyway, yeah, like he lured to stop people from training in a VP. We all know training in a VP will get you killed.
Coach Z taught you guys that. And all you guys seem to love Coach Z. I mean, come on.
I know most of you guys probably hate Frizzy, but Frizzy proved that training in a VP will get you killed. I mean, multiple times. That's why he was always having a solo in a lot of his videos. But I mean, I don't think we need to explain why training in a VP is bad. But apparently Goshi supports it, so there's that too.
And Slate, she's trained her drop in a CJ before, but that's for another video.
Yeah, I mean, this is not about Slate. Yeah. This is well, I mean, it kind of is if she's a mod, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, really, just like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah. All right. You know,
so yeah, if you guys watched this whole video, thank you very much for watching it. For those of you that skipped around, we encourage you to watch it. Watch the whole thing. If you can't, we appreciate the portions that you watched. But if you're gonna comment and say things, make sure you have all the information. You can comment on portions of the video, but don't comment on the whole thing unless you watch the whole thing. That's all we ask.
Yep. So, yeah, that is pretty much the whole video. If you want to talk more about this, anyone, TTR staff, feel free to hit me up on Skype, RockyBen13, all lowercase, all one word. That'll be in the description of this video. I think me and Dr. Popcorn are both uploading it to each of our channels. Yes. We're recording this as of February 11th, I think it is. Yeah. Hopefully it gets up by tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully it's up by tomorrow. You know, obviously we're talking in the past currently, so if you're watching this, it's clearly up. So that's kind of irrelevant, but yeah, we're trying to get it up quickly after we got it all together here. So,
would you like to sign us out?
All right, Dr. Popcorn Burger out. See you guys next time. Rocky. Go ahead. Yep.
Goodbye.
Peace, guys. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you don't end up having a similar experience with Goshi and some other TTR mods as we have. Anyway, later.